feel like the battle that's happening in the street, you're absolutely right. This is a battle of narratives, right? Who are we protecting? And I feel like the police, in a PR stunt, I don't remember if it was like the 80s or the 50s or something, but after some police brutality, the protect and serve mantra. And I feel like it has served the police well. We want to believe in a government-funded system that wants to protect and serve our communities. It seems to make sense. It seems to be something that we want to invest in. But the police have always protected property, even the conception of property as slaves, right? Looking back at the history of police, our first police officers were slave hunters in the South, and in the North, they were hired by capitalists to protect their cargo. The origin story of police is protecting property. They have never been designed to protect people. And I feel like that lie is being revealed. And I feel like the people are asking for protection.
The insult that teens use and people get pissed at, calling them glorified security guards. It's like, but that's actually the history of it.
Like actually,
right? What you were paid for it, and not just to say that just to insult people or just to like rile emotions. It's like, no, but you need to understand the origins of this, like how this started and how it grew, and that's why someone that and someone in your family can have been like, yo, I joined this for the right reasons, but this is something like, it's not, you can't, oh man, I've been telling, the one message I've been trying to have for people, because I do another show that we do daily, and like, I don't want to be trying to come up with this big conclusion, but my conclusion has been like, hey, you can't fix this. Quit, take some of this pressure off yourself, because all of us feel all this pressure, and we all like, no one wants to say the wrong thing, because no one wants to like, saying the right thing is about being able to like fix a situation. Oh, I know exactly what to say. I could fix this. Like, but like no one knows what to say. I don't know what to say. Yeah, because we can't fix this. You don't know what to say, but say what you're thinking. Say what you're feeling.
Get it out there.
Yeah, get it out there. Let yourself be wrong. Give yourself the space to be wrong, and that's something. But like, no, go ahead.
No. I don't want to interrupt, but like that feels very similar to abuse dynamics too, right? Like anyone who's ever been in an abusive relationship, it's like, when you take that step and you try to raise your hand and you're like, hey, a thing that happened yesterday that I thought was really hurtful was, or you try, and then you end up getting sort of like attacked, and you trigger this defensiveness, and this black and white thinking is triggered, and like you either say it perfectly or you're the devil. And I feel like that's the situation that our protesters are facing, right? Like there's no right way to deliver the message that like police brutality is absolutely out of hand, right? Like peacefully kneeling, absolutely not okay. Massive gatherings, absolutely. So, and I feel that on a micro level, right? Like what it is to be in an abusive relationship with somebody that has more power than you, who is not engaging in good faith.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny because this is actually like, I had it written on a Post-it note up here. I was like, I really want to ask Kaytlin this question, because I feel like that's something that really does get to the heart of what we're talking about. But I guess to try to run down the list of points to respond to, I think, Dave, you're exactly right. To anyone listening, you can't solve this. Only we can solve this, right? Yeah. Only a collective reckoning with, like the ills of our society, and a collective devotion to one another, and to actually not only, I think, then to Kaytlin's point, like it is a battle over narratives, and then those narratives have to be translated into material policy, right? They have to be, that narrative has to guide us towards how we want to shape the society. If it just stays in the realm of narrative, then you'll have, like these just hypocritical mayors, marching with protesters, but then keeping the budgets of their cities like 90%, police devoted to police, and like 2% to the schools, right?
But to prevent crime, which is not how that works.
Right. And, about the abusive relationship thing, that has been on my mind all week. And like I said, it's something I wanted to ask you about, because it goes to what Dave was saying earlier, right? Is that people believe, or want to believe, that police serve a certain function, but once they start learning more about the history, they start to see that the way that function was shaped was to, like protect property over people, right. To protect, to not ensure public safety, right? But to, in fact, like with the training day example, right? You know, they see themselves, police see themselves, and they indoctrinate new recruits into this vision of seeing themselves as at war with the public, right? As being their own sort of kind of military force that is sent in to corral, you know, like these kind of vicious and animalistic, like, you know, hordes that, you know, like that's not protecting public safety. Or if it is, it only is in the context of protecting the safety of the rich and the powerful, right? Whose interests are perhaps threatened by, you know, like the crime that emerges when you oppress, you know, like whole communities. But to the question of just so I don't lose this train of thought, but like to the divide between protecting public safety versus seeing the public as kind of like this, and seeing yourself as at war with the public, right? This is what happens when, you know, people see what's going on the streets right now and they say, oh, so you don't want police, like you just want, you know, crime to run rampant. Like this is the Willie Horton, you know, like defense all over again. And I'm like, man, have you ever tried